I'm Taryn Brooks in Hollywood for CELEBUZZ.com, and joining me are the stars of the upcoming movie Short Term 12, Brie Larson and Justin Gallagher Jr. Hey guys.
Hey.
Welcome.
Hey.
Thanks for having
How's
us.
it going?
Great.
It's going good. You got a beautiful view.
I know, it's
lovely.
pretty, right? It's good.
I thought it was fake at first.
I know. People think it's a green screen, but it actually is real.
It's beautiful.
It's a real view. Congratulations on this movie, you guys. It's
Thank
getting
you.
so much buzz. The trailer made me weep. Can you tell us a little bit about the movie?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
Do you want to do
I
it?
don't know.
We should talk about it.
Yeah. Well, you do
It's a movie. The setting is in a foster care facility. We play line staff at a short-term foster care facility, but it's more than that. It's human stories about these line staff and the kids and how they interact with each other, and lessons learned, love, struggle, all of those things.
Everything encompassed.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
so good. You guys premiered the film at South by Southwest in Austin. You guys won a lot of awards. What was that like?
Well, I didn't even realize that there were awards.
Yeah,
I felt
awards.
completely naive when I went there. I was supposed to stay for like 2 or 3 nights. I ended up staying like 5. And towards the end of it, I remember the producers coming up and being like, "Can you stay until Friday night?" And I was like, "Well, why?" And they're like, "Well, there's these awards and it's looking pretty good." And I was like, "Sure, I'll." I didn't want to go home. I was having such a good time. And then we just, it was like kind of the icing on the cake was the awards, because the film had been so wonderfully received at all the screenings, and then we won the grand jury prize and the audience award as well.
That's so cool. What more do you need? I mean, the audience, grand jury, amazing.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that we won the good one, the big one.
The grand
I was very emotional. There was a lot of crying and hugging, and
Yeah.
I just remember turning to everybody and being like, "This is just like the end of Bring It On." And they're like, "How?" I was like, "Because it's like the team that you root for, but they don't win first place, but they do win a prize." I'm like, "No, Brie, it's not like Bring It On because you did get the big one."
I love that you compare it to Bring It On. That's amazing.
Yeah.
They're both feel-good stories.
Yeah, they got
Exactly.
good endings.
Exactly. Well, your writer-director, Destin Cronin, he actually worked in a foster facility. What was it like working with a director who kind of had experienced what your characters were going through?
It was intimidating.
Yeah, but in this weird way, he never let on that he knew something that we didn't. He very much let, us figure it out for ourselves and let the characters go through that process. It wasn't that it wasn't like he was over our shoulders, like, no, that's not how you
Yeah,
do
you don't
that.
do it.
That's not
Right.
how it works. He kind of gave us the template and laid the groundwork and helped kind of facilitate a lot of research and a lot of stories that he shared about some of the experiences there. But no, he just created a really great environment for us.
Yeah,
and
it's
so-
like having a little bit more insight, I would imagine, into
Yeah.
it. Your characters have very, kind of emotionally draining jobs and kind of their own demons. Is it hard as an actor when you're working in a movie like this to kind of get to that dark place constantly throughout? Does it take a
No.
toll on you?
I don't
nope.
know. I find it to be a comfortable place, and that's why it's a dangerous place at the same time. I think there's something that humans kind of like to go into those more internal, maybe a little solitude, sad, feeling sorry for yourself times where you just want people to kind of hug you and nurture you. So for me, it was more of, I was trying to be as aware as possible to not stay in that. It's easier for me to stay in it than to come out of it. And I had experiences where, it's you don't need to carry on with that. So it was a practice every day, understanding that there was 12 hours where I had to feel this certain way. And then the second that time was up, I went home and watched South Park and cooked a dinner, made myself comfort food, and it was a lot of pasta consumed at the end of every day, and laughed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Get out of it. Stay
Yeah.
out of it. You guys work with a lot of teenagers in this movie. There's a lot of young people. Was it fun? A fun environment? Did you guys have fun on set?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, I always tell people that despite the fact that the movie deals with a lot of really heavy emotional material, it was such a fun set. I looked forward to driving to work every day. I was always so excited to get there and see everybody. And I think that all really started with Destin, our director. He created an atmosphere where it was okay to have fun. It was okay for it to feel kind of playful, and which I think actually serves the film because it makes it so that it's not all so kind of heavy-handed and sad and wrought with so much of that emotion. There's so much joy and life to it as well, and that was something that just existed on set.
Yeah, the lighter moments. Did you guys channel any of your inner teen angst to relate to any of the teenagers? Bring it back.
I didn't really channel teen angst. I kind of don't want to get back into that again. It's such a terrible insular feeling.
Right?
I don't want to go back to that. I think I was concerned about the kids going through that or feeling that. Most of them are not quite there yet, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're also kind of bubbly and joyous.
Yeah.
Which is
That was the greatest part, I think, was these kids were so happy and so playful and funny and smart, and they had such great parents as well, that it created such a great environment and a miraculous, amazing thing to watch. These kids that could sit there and talk to you about video games for all day, and then the second the cameras were rolling, you just see this, this real, very eternal emotional pit kind of come out, and it's really incredible. Yeah. It's very incredible to watch. I think the performances are so amazing that they do in this film, and then it's even more amazing to know that they are nothing like those kids.
Right, like they probably haven't experienced
experienced that.
Right.
I think it goes to show that human feelings are kind of universal feelings. The specifics of it aren't necessarily the point, as we all know what it feels like to feel all of those unsure feelings, the sad things. We've all felt that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you said earlier that you didn't want to go back to like your teen angst phase. What's the worst thing you guys did as teenagers?
The worst thing.
The worst thing.
I was such a nerd. I was so well behaved. I was like so boring. I would like stay up and watch horror movies with my friend. It was about as rebellious as it got for me.
Hardcore.
I just was really wanting to express myself artistically, and I was living in a town that did not have any creative outlets, nor were there kids my age that wanted to be creative, and I was seen as very strange. So I think I had a lot of pent-up feeling that I needed to get these things out, and so there was one time where my parents went to the movies or dinner or both, and they came back and I had painted in huge letters from floor to ceiling. Wait, I went floor to ceiling, big black letters, "I like you," across the living room, and I thought it was a really strong piece of art, and I didn't understand why that wasn't an appropriate thing to do. So
they didn't love it.
They didn't love it. They were terrified.
Such a nice thing to write.
I thought it was nice. I thought it was like, well, that's a welcoming thing.
Totally.
And I thought it was bold. And I was at the time really, and I still am like this to a certain extent, I was very interested in going outside of these cultural norms. So I was, eating dinner in the shower and doing, which doesn't work, by the way. I tried it a couple of times. Well, you can't shampoo your hair and eat steak at the same time. It doesn't,
tricky.
So it just ends up wasting more time, I think, and things get soggy that you don't want soggy. It dilutes your mashed potatoes.
Ruins the flavor a little bit.
Yeah, it's not that good.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't want a steamy environment for certain meals.
Yeah.
No, not
that
so
makes
much.
sense. I won't try that. I'm glad you told me.
Yeah, just so you know, everyone out there, you don't gotta try that.
Don't do it.
I haven't
Take it
tried the
from
bathtub
us.
though. That's probably nice.
That might be more doable.
Probably
It
better.
depends on the temperature of the tub and what you're eating.
If you got a tray, like a
You got a
breakfast
tray,
in bed.
maybe
Yeah.
there's gazpacho in there. I could see that.
Totally.
Sushi. Depends
Ooh,
on the day.
That would be good, actually.
The next endeavor.
Yeah.
There you go. John, I have to ask you a newsroom question, obviously, because I'm
Sure.
such a fan of the show.
Oh, thanks.
Jim
Yeah.
had a little romance encounter this past week.
Yes.
Any more of that potentially in the future?
I think it seems like it went pretty well for them, for my character Jim and Hallie, friend that he has made on the campaign now. Yeah, I think they chased down that feeling together a little bit this season.
I love it. And Hallie is played by, of course, Meryl Streep's daughter.
Grace Gummer.
Yeah, is
Yeah.
it fun working with her?
She's fantastic. Yeah, she's really, really great. She's really, 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 really sweet, really, really talented, and a really hard worker, and just is one of those people that comes on set and everybody immediately falls in love with her.
Yeah, well, all of you guys are so talented. It's such a great show. So congratulations to both of you on this
Thank you.
movie. It
Thanks
looks
very much.
phenomenal. You guys, please check out Short Term 12, which is in theaters August 23rd. And for the biggest stories breaking right now, stay clicked on CELEBUZZ.com.